Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 7. And Yahweh thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. So, these are the curses that are coming upon them right now and are getting stronger and stronger. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be even toward his brother and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children which he shall leave. I have seen Edomite females just, I don't know, it's just crazy. Hate, just like the Jake woman. It's not, I don't know, but it's like, it's really crazy if you think about it. Like, they have no reason whatsoever. They just hate them. I remember this girl, and she just had she was pregnant, man. She was pregnant, and then all her pregnancy, I never saw her with another man. And I always kept on wondering, but one time I asked, because we talked often. So one time I asked her, like, so where's your guy? I never see you with, and by this time I already seen her for like 5-6 months. This was a few years ago, by the way. Her child is now what, maybe I don't know, 10 years or something, 7, 9. I don't know. I don't know actually. So something to that. But I know I knew her before the child was born. Wait, let me drink this. So I asked us, like, well, where's your husband now? She got angry, like, I ain't got no husband. I already knew, like, curses. But but she cool cat though. To me, she hate that dude. So what did she do? She basically got pregnant and broke it off with him right then and there, because I don't know what he did, man. She didn't explain. I didn't pry her. I just asked, like, what's up with that guy? Because you're pregnant and you all alone. So what's happening with that? And yeah, she the mannerism that she responded was, you hated it. So I was thinking, like, but damn, you hate him. And she's gonna make sure that he never will see the child, which I think he don't give a fuck neither, because that's one of the curses that came upon them too. You know, because they were. Let me read it. So it says here. So the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be even toward his brother and toward the wife of his bosom and toward the remnant of his children which he shall leave. This is the curses that came upon us, but it's now coming upon them, as the Lord said in Deuteronomy, Deuteronomy 30 and 7. And Yahweh thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. And also, let me read this real quick here. Deuteronomy 28 and 52. And he... Actually, it wasn't this one. I think it was actually 51, if I'm correct, where it says that... Wait a minute. Actually, it was 56, so let me read that. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not advent to set the sole of her foot upon the ground, for delicateness and tenderness, her eyes shall be even toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter. So, you have the Edomite females, they be hating the husband of her bosom, which they had children with, and I see them also hating their daughters and calling them bitch, and hating the son. Like, you look like your father, and they just hate him and just treat him very bad. And I seen that, by the way. And again, to that story about that girl, well, okay, it's enough, because I have other stories about these Edomite females. For example, they just hate the guy. They just get pregnant, and then all of a sudden turn against him. Like, I don't know, but like, what the fuck? And I seen that with Jake females often, by the way. As soon as they get pregnant, they turn into somebody else. Like, the hatred that is in her soul toward you, and then she's trying to go and fuck your friends, or fuck just somebody which is close to you, or not even close to you, just another dude, and leave with your children. That's exactly what's happening to the Edomite females right about now. Anyway, these curses above are not happening with the heathen nations, because I see some Arabs losing the power over their females too. And they have power over their females. That's why a lot of them have their head covered, which is exactly what's in the scriptures of 1 Corinthians chapter 11. The reason why a woman should have a cap on their head, it's not a scarf, but what do you call that thing again? You know, her head covering, basically, is to show that she has power over her head, meaning she has a ruler. She has someone that she answers to, for lack of better terms. So it says here, because when you are a daughter, you belong to your father. And then he gives his daughter's hand unto the man that, or young man that comes to take his daughter's hand. Then you offer your daughter's hand, okay, if you want to. And if not, then you keep your daughter at home and away from that guy. But anyway, so you belong to your father because you have your father's last name. And then when you hand her hand, give her hand in marriage, hand her over, then the woman changes her name into the name of the guy that she's with, and therefore you become his now. So you're always passed from one man to another man as a daughter. It might seem that as messed up and stuff like that, but it's better for you, because or else you'll be walking around with 5 dudes and 15 different children, and yeah, and you don't know what else going on. And okay, so why are men like this? Why are you allowing them to be like that? You know they're too stupid to understand. Like, I just want to fuck you. You're nothing, and certain dudes, they hate females too. All they want to do is have sex with them. Most of the time, me in my head, I'm thinking that's a sodomite. I really believe that sometimes. So certain dudes, you be looking at them like, this guy hates women, but he's having sex with them. I think he's a vagabond. That's what I think sometimes. Like, hey, this guy's weird. You know, he really hates them, but he wants to have sex with them, to degrade them and all that, then make videos and all that stupid stuff. I'm thinking in my head he's a sodomite. That's what I think. I'm like, ain't no way you're gonna treat girls like that if you love them. Like, I think it's weird. So a lot of pimps also, when I look at them, be like, you a sodomite. I don't know, I just think like that. I would not do that. So maybe it's just me. I just think they're weird. Anyway, so now going on, and that has been here for decades, but now, since they are fleeing to the Netherlands, them Dutch are really kind of racist, complaining, like how, what am I reading actually? Wait, let me go again. These curses above are now happening with the heathen nations. Esau is hating each other. This is a weird sentence. Esau is hating. Okay, Edomites are hating each other in Europe. In Europe, there is a disdain for East Europeans coming from the Dutch Europeans, actually West Europeans, actually. And that has been here or there for decades. But now, since they are fleeing to the Netherlands, them Dutch Edomites, them Dutch Euros, are really kindly racistly complaining, like how Mexicans and just South Americans are disliked. Huh? No. Going on. I was thinking something else. Racistly complaining how like how Mexicans and just South Americans dislike and even hate darker skinned tones and textures of Afro-like people. Hair texture, sorry, wow. And hair textures of Afro-like people, right. And the reason I put this is because you have the hatred between the southern tribes and the northern tribes. I should say the northern tribes and the southern tribes anyway. You have that disdain that they have for one another. Eventually they hate each other. And you have then, therefore, now the curses that's coming upon the heathen nations, that's happening with them now. They start to hate their brothers and stuff like that. The East European Edomites versus the West actually is the West European Edomites versus the East European Edomites. Why? Because the East European Edomites, all of them want to come to the West. You don't have a big flux of them from West Europe trying to go to the East. You're not going to really find them like that. They're not trying to move over to there. Those people are trying to move over to here. And then the ones here, they don't like them. They go back to your fucking country and stuff like that. You hear them say that. I'm not kidding you. You hear them say that. They don't like them, and they feel like they taking their jobs and stuff like that, because those people in East Europe, they come over here in West Europe and they work for less money, and therefore and they take the job, because in their own country they wouldn't even get this type of money. So they come here and then they basically complain. The ones that are already here complain that those East Europeans are coming to take their jobs, but they take the jobs for less money, and also the jobs that they don't want to have. So therefore I compared it to, you know, the Mexicanos and stuff like that, with the hatred that they have amongst each other, and basically a lot of South Americans have that toward, for example, the southern tribes, and within themselves they also have anger issues toward themselves just because they are from another tribe. And that is what the Edomites have right now. So let me go on. So it says here, anyway, these Edomite people, I have to write Esau because if I put Edomite, then they will delete my comment. But anyway, these Esau people are fighting each other. These Edomites are fighting each other. You can see it as the kingdom of Amalek, for example, versus the kingdom of Esau or the kingdom of Edom. Just like I said, the kingdom of Judah and the kingdom of Ephraim. Just like the kingdom of Ephraim versus the kingdom of Judah. First Kings chapter 12 shows you this, and Isaiah chapter 7 also. It was Ephraim that joined the heathen nations in order to fight against Judah and Benjamin. And that is the fight that is going on around the Edomite tribes of nowadays. They're fighting amongst each other, and it's getting worse and worse because you can see, for example, Ukraine and Russia and Europe, like West Europe. They're fighting against one another, and of course America is fighting against Russia by backing Europe. Sorry, excuse me, backing Ukraine. That's like me and you having a fight, and no, let me get it better. That's like you and somebody else having a fight, right? But me, I hate you too. So what am I doing? I'm sponsoring him information and weapons in order to fight you. Well, doesn't that make me your enemy also? Yeah, but I'm a proxy war type of dude, meaning I do it from a distance and I just supply your enemy with weapons and information about you and stuff like that, you know? But I myself don't come up in the fight and start swinging. But it would be the same thing because I am kind of swinging because those are my weapons. So I am swinging, but not with my arms. I'm swinging from a distance, you know, like a teleport or something like that. But anyway, European Edomites hate or despise, look down on East European Edomites. But Amalek hates them both and calls them Esau. That's what they call them. Yes, you read it correct. You are Amalek. 1, 2, 3 documentary. You need to watch to learn that. So I put the links here so you can watch and learn it for yourself. And it says here, Amalek calls European Edomites and USA Edomites Esau, but says Esau with an F. He says that. Wait a minute. Right, so now is Hosea chapter 4 verse 13. They sacrifice upon the top of the mountains and burn incense upon the hills, under oaks and poplars and elms, because the shadow thereof is good. Therefore your daughter shall commit whoredom, and your spouses shall commit adultery. So because we started to worship other gods in groves, just like how Esau is worshiping in the Bohemian groves, the same way our people used to do things like that. Therefore our daughters shall commit whoredom, because back in the days the Heavenly Father would punish them. He would kill them. So an accident would happen and they would just die. And your spouses shall commit adultery, and they also shall not be punished. I will not punish your daughters when they commit whoredom, nor your spouses when they commit adultery, for themselves are separated with whores, as physical whores, for example, in the book of Second Maccabees, if I'm correct, 6. Well, let me get it for you. Right, now also you had Samuel, his 2 sons, or no, it was Eli, his 2 sons, that was sleeping with hookers. Samuel, his sons, Eli, his sons, were sleeping with harlots. Eli's sons were sleeping with harlots. Eh? Oh man, it's irritating. Now this is the book of 1 Samuel chapter 2. Yeah, chapter 2 verse 21. And Yahweh and Yahweh visited Hannah, so that she conceived and bare 3 sons and 2 daughters. And the child Samuel grew before the Heavenly Father Yahweh. Now Eli was very old, and heard all that his sons did unto Israel, and how they lay with women that assembled at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. So they was having sex with them in front of the tabernacle of the congregation, at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. Now, if you don't know what the tabernacle of the congregation is this. Isaiah chapter 33, verse 7. And Moses took the tabernacle and pitched it without the camp, afar off from the camp, and called it the tabernacle of the congregation. The ark of the covenant is in there. And it came to pass that every one that which sought the Heavenly Father went out unto the tabernacle of the congregation, which was without the camp. So if you wanted to seek the Heavenly Father, then you would go to the tabernacle of the congregation. So what did you do with the tabernacle of the congregation? What did you do when you went there? I think it's here, maybe. Let me see, First Samuel. No, I think it's second. Second Samuel chapter, I think it's 14 then. First Samuel chapter 4, verse 4. So the people sent to Shiloh, which was in Ephraim, and the ark of the covenant was there, that they might bring from thence the ark of the covenant of the Lord of hosts, which dwelleth between the cherubims. The Lord of hosts dwelleth between the cherubims. And the two sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, were there with the ark of the covenant of the Heavenly Father. So, let me see here. Here, whose name is called by the name of Yahweh, the Lord of hosts, that dwelleth between the cherubims. So, who's dwelling between the cherubims? The Lord of hosts, the Heavenly Father, Yahweh. Leviticus 16, verse 1. No, 2. And Yahweh said unto Moses, Speak unto Aaron thy brother, that he come not at all times into the holy place within the veil. And that's talking about this. This is the holiest of holy. This is the holy place. Look, this is the sanctuary. Behind the first veil is the sanctuary, and behind the second veil is the most holiest of holy places. Here you have the sanctuary, which is in the middle that I just showed you, and then after the second veil you have the most holiest place, the holiest of holy. Right. So here inside is the sanctuary, but this is also called the sanctuary in certain scriptures and stuff like that. So this whole thing is the sanctuary, because if the Israelites that were not Levites, if they was to come near this, they would die, because if they bared sin, they would come near and die, and everybody bears sin. That's why you had to do daily sacrifices. The Levites did it for us. So they themselves would not die, of course. You would die if you go walk around there. But anyway, so that's that part. So that he come not at all times, so anytime that he feels like, into the holy place within the veil, before the mercy seat, which is the lid of the ark of the covenant, which is upon the ark. So the mercy seat is the lid that is upon the ark of the covenant. That he die not, because he would die if he was just to go there. For I will appear in the cloud upon the mercy seat. So the Heavenly Father was there, right? Numbers chapter 7, verse 89. And when Moses was gone into the tabernacle of the congregation, which is the tent that I just showed you, where the ark of the covenant was, to speak with him. To speak with who? The Heavenly Father. Then he heard the voice of one speaking unto him from off the mercy seat that was upon the ark of the testimony. From where? Exactly. From between the cherubims. And he spake unto him here. This is the mercy seat. Just gonna give a picture. I don't even want to look into this. Even if it's a picture, it's still scary. It's still scary. So the lid is the mercy seat. And these things are the two cherubims. So between the two cherubims, there the Most High is. And you should not look upon it. That's why I'm afraid. No, I'm seriously dead. I'm seriously. The only reason that I'm looking into it is to make this video. Because no, I will not just... Let's say I have nothing to do and I just want to go look up the Ark of the Covenant. If I look up the Ark of the Covenant, I'm not taking this picture. I'd rather take this one because the thing is not there. The light is not there. And I don't like looking into this one also. You might be, you superstitious. Hey, you playing. I make a lot of jokes, but certain things I don't know, it's just afraid or something. I don't know. Be like, hey, I don't like the depiction of that thing. You know, it's, even though I know it's not real, it's still chicken shit. It's still chicken shit. Make me chicken shit. Like, I don't think it's a good idea for me to be looking into that thing. Anyway, you know, I only do it for the video's sake. So yeah, right. So okay, that's that part. And okay, so now what am I talking about again? Woo! Oh yeah, this one. Well, I don't have to go up in there actually. You know, Leviticus 16 and you know, weird. You're supposed to burn the incense, which will then let the smoke cover this light thing that would be in the middle. The smoke would cover it, like for example here. Here, no, what? Priest? This one. You need to burn the incense in order for the smoke to cover the light thing here in between the cherubims, and then you could look, because it says right here, Leviticus 13 and no, 16 and 13, and he shall put the incense upon the fire before the Lord, that the cloud of the incense may cover the mercy seat, so that you can't see. That is upon the testimony that he died not, because if you look, you die. And you can see that here. If I type tabernacle, then you will see a lot of pictures where you have smoke just popping up in the picture, because Esau knows exactly what he's doing. Here you can see the smoke again. Here you can see the smoke again. Here you can see the smoke again. Here and here you can see the smoke again, because the Lord will amplify the smoke, by the way. If you didn't know, he will amplify the smoke, because you'd be asking like, how can a little thing like that create so much smoke? That's because the Heavenly Father amplifies it. Like an amplifier music thing. It might be very soft, but if you get an amplifier, it turns very loud. Be like, what? I didn't know that sound could come out of that thing. Yeah, because you got an amplifier. It makes it stronger. And you can catch that in this movie called... Here, this one. Isaiah chapter 6 also shows you this thing right here. Here, this one. He tells Miriam to not look.
Miriam, don't look at it.
Miriam, don't look at it. Funny, her name is Miriam.
Shut your eyes, Miriam. Don't look at it.
Shut your eyes, Miriam. Don't look at it, no matter what happens. But you can see the smoke. The smoke is amplified. Wait, here. Well, that's what I want. Actually, I went too far. As you can see, the smoke just comes out of it. Isaiah chapter 6 shows you this. Well, he tells you that the smoke covered the place, and that's exactly what it's doing right there. So this is also mentioned in the book of Isaiah chapter 6. So now going back to over here, 2 Maccabees chapter 6 verse 4. For the temple was filled with riot and reveling by the Gentiles. Riot is orgies, having orgy sex, and you can catch that here. Let me see something. Where did I put it? Dictionary. Here. The word riot If you look it up, it says here riot, violence, da 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 da. But if you scroll down, the ancient word of it is debauchery, drunken revelry, bacchanalia, saturnalia, bacchanal, orgy. Orgy. That's what it is. And what is orgy? Secret rite, cult, and sexual activities is everybody having sex and drinking and all that type of stuff. Promiscuous sexual activities, excessive drinking. That's what you get in carnival. You get a lot of sexuality, and you get a lot of drunken revelry and all that type of stuff. Reveling, which is the same thing to a certain degree. By the Gentiles who dallied with harlots and had to do with women within the circuit of the holy places. This is exactly what the sons of Eli did. In the holy places they was having sex, which is a death sentence in itself. And the Lord did kill them. And besides that brought in things that were unlawful. So they were doing that. So going back to over here, for Hosea chapter 4 verse 13, they sacrifice upon the top of the mountains and burn incense upon the hills, under oaks and poplars and elms, because the shadow thereof is good. Therefore your daughters shall commit whoredom, and your spouses shall commit adultery. I will not punish your daughters when they commit whoredom, nor your spouses when they commit adultery. For themselves are separated with whores, and they sacrifice with harlots. Therefore the people that doth not understand shall fall. And that's exactly, these curses is coming upon these Edomites. So these are one of the prophecies that is coming upon the Edomites, and it's getting stronger and stronger. This thing was not really prevalent, not like how it is now. It was already there, but not like now. Since the OnlyFans things, you can see the future mothers of the Caucasus race. I'm going to give you an example of a real quick example. If you ever filled a stadium with the biggest stadium has 150,000 people, but you have smaller stadiums than that, which could fill maybe 20,000, 50,000, 30,000 and stuff like that. If you are in the middle of a soccer field and you are at the back, even the front, man, but at the back of the stadium, you cannot see in the right, check this out. You can this is very close, by the way, to the front row, so it's not that far. But still, you can't really see. You can't. If a woman was to be here in the middle of the field and she start doing things to herself, like OnlyFans things, yeah, you'd need binoculars, or you need a big screen here to basically see what's going on around there, because you can't. This is a little bit further. You can't see. You wouldn't be able to see. You would make out that you would be able to make out that she's doing stuff to herself over there, being all naked and all that there. But you can't see. Like, for example, here's even further. You wouldn't be able to see. So, and by the way, these are like what, 50,000 people, 20,000, between 50,000 and 20,000, something like that. I didn't count. I didn't type it in either. I can find it out, but I'm just giving an example of a fact. Here you can see this. You can't see the people. You can't, and they can't really see you. They can't make out your facial structures and stuff like that. But my point of bringing all this up is to show you that in the history of history itself, it has not happened like this before on this scale. It happened before, but not on this scale, where one woman, your mother, for example, or your daughter, because that's the Edomites. You have a lot of Jakes that's on OnlyFans doing the same thing too. But anyway, it was not likely to be seen naked by millions of people at the same time. That's what can happen nowadays with a click of a button, like the internet, and then you could all, like, millions of people could all tune in to one female doing herself on camera, and everybody could just watch along and stuff like that. You couldn't do that back in the days, and until this day you still can't do it unless you have cameras. So the reason of me saying all that is to show you that the harlotry and the whoredomery of the females nowadays kind of surpasses all the things that were before. Because back in the, you can't, come on, think about it. You can't, if there was 1 million people here, you would not be able to see, because this is already not even 100,000. This is like what, 20 to 40,000, 50, and you still already can't see. You know, you can't see. It's too many people. But now you are able to see. So basically, my point is, the whoredoms of the day surpasses all the whoredoms that were before. So anyway, and they sacrificed with the thing that had been the thing that had been shall be, and the thing that had been, wow, something like that. Basically, history repeats itself, but it's getting worse. So it already happened, but now it's getting worse. So yeah, we in that time of these prophecies coming to pass, and some of them already happening right now as we speak. Leviticus 19:29. Do not prostitute thy daughter to cause her to be a whore, lest the land fall to whoredom and the land become full of wickedness. That's happening right now. Esau is giving his daughter the capability to basically sell herself online, and that she will jump at the opportunity to do it. Amos 7:17. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh, thy wife shall be a harlot in the city, and thy sons and thy daughters shall fall by the sword. That's what's happening with their sons and their daughters right now in that war. If you see what's happening between Russia and Ukraine and the way that they're dying, I have a few websites. I don't really go on them, but I went on them. And it's like gore.com back in the days. Like gore.com, like those type of websites. Ooh. I saw a Russian, or it was a Ukraine, one of those. They Edomites, man. They look alike. Anyway, so if they was to open their mouth, maybe I would know, like, oh, he's Russian or he's Ukrainian, whatever, man. That's what I mean. They look alike. And yeah, because if they shut their mouth, maybe I could look at them and be like, oh yeah. Anyway, so I saw this guy. They held him down and they cut his dick off. I'm not kidding you, man. If it was able for me to put the link for you, I'd do it. But they're going to flag me. So I'm not going to do it. I could just tell you what I saw. They held him down and they cut his dick off. Yeah, he put his hand on his pee-pee and he cut it off, man. He cut it off. And the guy was not even screaming. I was like, yo. It was crazy. He wasn't even screaming. He did a few and yeah, man, I was like, what the fuck? And then he threw it on his butt or something like that, you know, and then he shot him in the head. I was thinking, like, he should have kept him alive. He was suffering as shit, but he dickless. But anyway, they murdering each other horribly, and it's funny as hell. But still, they have nothing on the cartels down there in America, South America. So Jake is worse. Jake is worse than that. Anyway, so, but they murdering each other right now. Their sons and their daughters are falling by the sword. And yeah, going on. And thy land shall be divided by line, and thou shalt die in a polluted land. That happened to us, and that's happening to them right now. And Israel shall surely go into captivity forth out of his land. So this is a prophecy that happened to us, and this prophecy is about to happen to them. The Edomites shall go forth into captivity forth out of their stolen lands that they are in right now. But their wives are harlots in the city. So this prophecy is already in effect. It's going to get worse, stronger, I should say. And thy sons and thy daughters shall fall by the sword. That's one is going to get worse also, because believe it or not, the Russians are still our enemies, are still Edomites compared to the Americans and the Europeans. They're still our enemies. So it might seem as if we're for them or for Russians and stuff like that. I'm not, because they are enemies also. They don't like you. So, but the thing is that they're fighting amongst each other. So that's a good thing. It's one of the prophecies that needs to come to pass, because those are the curses, the prophecy curses. So it says here, well, this is all happening now in 2025, and it's going to get worse by the year. It seems by the month even. It seems, by the month even.